Hey everybody, welcome to In the Green Zone. We are having, so far it's a very intimate affair. I've got a great guest on the show with us this week. And one of my best pals in stand-up comedy. He's got a great podcast, Yelling About Pate. He's got an awesome album, Manish Boy, out on his Special Thing Records. We've got Karl Hess in the Green Zone.
Great to be in the Green Zone, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Karl.
Dude, Karl, great to have you. Great to see you. Matt McCarthy walked in while you were being introduced.
Hi, Matt.
Classic.
Hi, Karl.
Good to see you, buddy.
It's great to see you.
Good to be here.
I shaved this week, and now I feel like I'm out of the. You guys are all like hot bearded.
No, I was gonna say, like, why do you look so young and hunky? Couldn't put my finger on it. You just shaved. That's it.
I shaved my face.
Nothing
it
crazy.
was a bizarre experience. Bizarre.
You're out of practice.
Yeah, you know, I eased into it. This is what I realized. I decided to shave a mustache for a couple of days, and then cool it all the way off with the full shave.
If you have a heavy growth, you gotta play with a fun stash on the way out.
if you don't,
something's wrong with you.
I've got a theory that the mustache you go to in between full beard.
That's the real
shave,
you.
That's the real you.
I feel that.
That's who you really would like to be.
Really are.
That's right. Be the mustache you want to see in the world.
Man, this is tempting.
Matt, if you shaved, you could have such a fucking Old West villain mustache. Good Lord.
Oh, totally.
Oof.
I actually just trimmed my beard today, and like I'll trim like the outer growth, but then this I just go zip zip.
I just rewatched MASH, the movie with Elliot Gould.
Ooh.
His mustache in that movie might be a top 5 all-time mustache.
Phenomenal.
Trapper John, oh boy, you could have that, Matt.
That movie is so cool.
It's so cool. It's such a weird movie. It's weird that like sort of anthology style of storytelling isn't done more often in films. I just think it's so cool. It's like vignettes.
Yeah. I remember watching that in college and buying like a jumpsuit. Like I was like, I love how.
Yeah, you're like, that's a look. I want that.
Yeah. But just to like hang out in, because it was like Donald Sutherland would go back to the swamp and then like put on
just
the
a jumpsuit.
And I'm like, oh man, I just want to lay around the dorm drinking gasoline with my jumpsuit on.
Well, jumpsuits are back.
And I did it.
Jumpsuits are back in a big way.
I know. Now they're back.
Gals and guys.
Yeah.
I know. I saw something advertised. It was to me, but it was for women. It was a showing how simple the jumpsuit is as a one-piece thing. But she was also wearing what is it called? It's not a bathing suit. I can't think of the word. It's like a shirt, but it also no.
A bodysuit?
A shirt.
Yeah, it's a bodysuit. Thank you, Nick.
You're very welcome.
I was like, if you have to go to the bathroom, this is you've given yourself a 3D chess match to lose against yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just think if I got
for the
a
ladies,
jumper,
it would be it's a guy's jumpsuit like mine. It zipped all the way up, and then there was another zipper on the bottom that would zip up as well.
Oh, so you could swirl your
penis.
Ladies need is the classic old prospector union suit with the butt flap.
Right.
Thank you for saying what needed to be said.
Engage the butt flap. You're fucking good to go.
So you open the butt flap and you kind of have to reach around and pull.
Of course, the butt flap can be, if you're in a social situation, it can be. You got to make sure that's secure.
I get it. Just imagine how stupid the first person to pitch underwear without a butt flap looked. Like, who's gonna buy this?
The first non-prospector to make long underwear. He's like, guys, I know you love that butt flap, but I gotta say it's coming undone a lot more than it's supposed to. I'm just gonna say that.
You want this thingamajig to actually touch the floor?
Once you start drinking out of a jug with 3 X's, anything can happen to that butt flap.
No.
What do the 3 X's stand for? Sorry to interrupt, but I've always wondered.
It just means it's gonna fuck you up.
1X doesn't really.
Well, 1X might get you a little of the way there, but if you want to get all the way there, you need 3.
Okay, I'll pay attention next time I'm shopping.
Yeah, I feel like that was only Looney Tunes markings. I don't know if that was really how.
No, it was real.
I think it was Theodore Roosevelt instituted that policy that they needed for a while to have the X.
After Prohibition ended, they were like, all right, we're bringing back booze, but no more of that triple X stuff. That stuff was out of control. We're doing names only from here on out.
Yeah, you gotta put your name behind the hooch that you're putting out. That was probably decent. Anytime someone offers you something homemade, it's always like, boy, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
I mean, I'll drink it, but I'm wary.
Wary, for sure. Karl, you've been described as a food luminary.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it.
I love that.
Joke, but I will take it.
No, I don't think it was a joke, Karl. I think that it's only a joke because it's rooted in truth. And and ever since I've known you, you've had an appreciation of food. And that brings us to our first subject of this episode is, what is the best food adjective? What's the food adjective that really makes you go, oh, I'm going to eat this?
Well, it's funny. There's kind of a cliche in food writing that food writers use the term unctuous too much. Unless you read a lot of like food writing, you probably wouldn't think that, just because the normal person doesn't run across the word unctuous on a regular basis in their life. It is commonly used in food writing, but I gotta say, I like unctuous as a descriptor.
What does it mean?
Unctuous, it can be like super rich, like cloying, but maybe in like a good way, almost decadent. You know, and that's the thing. No one actually really knows what unctuous means, so you can kind of use it in multiple ways, but it's coming from a place of like something very rich, something bold and flavorful with kind of, you know, like sea urchin, uni, or like foie gras, something like that.
This decadent. Is very, very decadent. I like it. Yeah. I feel like anything that makes you want to reach for the thesaurus or the dictionary, that's good.
Yeah.
It excites a little curiosity. Nick Flanagan, what do you think's what's the best food adjective?
Oh my God. I don't know. Like, I keep on thinking of the worst one for some reason. Not worst, but like limpid is something, if I read a bad food review, like I like that as a critique, you know, limpid noodles.
I feel so dumb right now.
You just feel like someone who doesn't read like a food, like various like food reviews. I don't know.
Definitely. I'm not reading. No, 100%. No.
You know,
I'm watching Karl's Instagram for my food recommendations. I'm not reading the articles. It turns out I'm a visual food appreciator.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I do like it when people say something has a crunch. It's simple, but it's just, you know, when it's described in savory food that something has a crunch.
You're like, I want that crunch.
Yeah, I tend to want that crunch.
I think the simplest one is just juicy. If someone says juicy, you're immediately like, fuck, I want, like, if someone's like, the steak is juicy, you're like, well, I know exactly what that tastes like. I love it.
Yes. Not dried out. Very good. Interested. Matt McCarthy, what do you think's the top food adjective?
Soupy.
Because my man loves soup.
Because it's a food and it's an adjective. And then all of a sudden y'all are like throwing out words I don't know. But if you're describing something as soupy, you're like, yeah, I know what that is. It's kind of soupy. It could be good or bad.
I feel like that's rarely assigned to good.
Yeah, but what if someone was like, yo, that's soup? That was really soupy. You're like, I want that. That sounds good.
That sounds like what it should be.
Yeah, now that I give it
soup.
A couple of seconds of thought, you're totally right, Paul. It's always negative. You're like, I don't know, it's a little soupy.
I'm in the soup.
Yeah.
But soup is, as I've learned as I've been pursuing health, it's the healthiest food of available.
It is.
Vegetable broth, soaked vegetables, soup.
Soup is the healthiest thing you can eat, definitely.
Didn't the Dead Kennedys have a song called "Soup is Good Food"?
You don't know that, Matt? No one else here is going to know that.
Oh, well, I posed it as a question, so it's not. I know for a fact they have a song.
James might. I don't know.
Soup is good food.
Yeah, I think they got a soup song.
They should if they don't.
Soup.
If you don't got a good
so good.
soup, if you don't got a good soup song, get the fuck out of rock and roll, I say.
Soup. There it is.
You don't rock.
Exactly.
James, Fritz, Greg, Barris, welcome, buddies. Thanks for joining us in the green room.
Look at
Thank you
clean
for having
shaven
me.
Paul looking like a pup.
I know. What a stud.
Rub me behind my ears, you nasty little beast.
God. Did you get a better jawline during quarantine? What the fuck?
No, I didn't. I've got lymph nodes that are still swollen, protruding. Great time.
Reading well on camera, though. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Good. I'm lighting it. I did.
Hot limps, bro.
I got new
Hot
headshots
lips
taken.
Houlihan over here.
We were just talking about MASH.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
funny.
We really were.
That's
Yeah.
fucking.
James always does is he hides offline so that he can come in with a seemingly.
Well, it
knew
worked.
it.
That fucking worked.
Felt
Good
like
trick.
I felt
I'm
like
in the
lightning just
blockchain.
struck twice.
blockchain.
James, Fritz, Greg, Barris, we launched into our first topic already. If you hadn't caught on yet, it is what is the best food descriptor adjective? Karl illuminated us with lugubrious. What did you say? Unctuous.
Lugubrious.
Not lugubrious.
That's a good one, though.
Not for food.
That's a good one.
All the way
I-
from San Diego. Put your hands together for lugubrious.
Oh man, that's a very
That
We
guy
opened
opens
for
for
Earthquake.
earthquake.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I mean-
God.
man.
Greg and I are in the. Are we both on mushrooms right now? What's happening?
I only macro dose on the show.
Oh, man.
I think
for work.
not this. This doesn't describe food, but it describes a restaurant type. If it is described as a funky little joint, I am there.
If
Funky.
Absolutely.
If I go to
Small.
a little joint and it's not funky, if I just go to a little joint that's standard, I'm like,
Oh.
get out of here.
Yeah.
Get the
I'm-
fuck out of here.
A funky little joint has like kitsch on the walls.
Yeah. Love Shack's always playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
Little
just
joint.
thinking of that. Funky little shack. Funky little shack.
James is on the wavelength right now.
Sounds like
Everyone's
Yeah.
the same age.
I feel like I'm dreaming. Am I
You should
naked?
buy a lottery ticket tonight, James. I think you're tuned into something.
I
All
think
right.
so.
You
We
know
are
what
at kind
also
of-
needs to be funky?
What?
A little desert town. You don't want to pull into a little desert town and it's just standard. You're like,
No.
Or
where's
go.
the
It's either
turquoise?
it's
Where's
either
the character?
standard, funky, or ghost. Those are the only
Exactly,
three
those are
desert
the only
towns you
choices.
get.
If I don't see some large scale, like found art or
Oh,
sculpted
there better
art,
be a fucking sculpture made out of wrought iron.
if
What's
there
that
isn't,
lawless desert town?
Well,
Deadwood?
lawless is another type. I mean, if you go there and it's lawless, that's a different
I guess those
vibe.
are the four types
There's
of desert
bikers
towns.
there. That's a whole different vibe.
No,
Wait,
isn't
is
it-
there a lawless desert town?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right by that big lake. What's the Salton Sea? There's a lawless desert.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's also haunted. That's double. That's lawless
double.
and ghost.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
so what goes on
I would
there?
say also kind of funky.
In a
Yeah,
bad
no,
way.
that's fun.
The
ghosts
bad kind of
keep
funky.
it funky.
The bad kind of fun.
They have the
I mean-
funky that's like, oh, there's natural hot springs, and then you see what it is. It's just a
If
hole in the
funky
ground
goes
with
too far, it
a
starts
guy
to
at a-
border on sketchy, and there's a fine line right there.
Yes.
guy with a bunch
yes.
of hot floating beer cans.
It's like they're totally off the grid, Nick. They don't have electricity, right?
No,
Okay.
they're off the grid. They're not an incorporated city. They don't have ambulances. It's great.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's why they have
Wild.
so many ghosts.
They don't
Big
actually
goodness.
have law. There's no.
Powerball immediately after this.
I just love that there's some of these towns where the ghost culture is don't just stay in the house, come on out. We're all haunting this place together.
A funky ghost town.
Yeah.
Very nice. I feel like that's the way to go. Better than to be stuck in an old Victorian home with creaky floors.
You know what I
Forget about
have
it.
here somewhere is that book that Dan Aykroyd's dad wrote about ghosts.
Aykroyd was a big ghost guy.
Huge.
really?
Ghost
Well,
and
he kept-
aliens guy.
Ghost,
Yeah, we
aliens,
had a
and
show.
vodka.
He had a
Do you ever
show.
watch the first time Aykroyd? It was Aykroyd and Bill Murray were on Johnny Carson together to push Ghostbusters, and he comes out with Dan comes out first, and then Bill Murray comes out after, and Dan Aykroyd just bum rushes Johnny Carson with like all these facts about ghosts, and then he takes out the lamest like fake photo that he claims is real. It's like a family artifact of his grandfather with these like fake heads around the grandfather's head. It's absurd.
I love Aykroyd's weird ass.
God bless him.
Oh, he's so weird. I love him.
Yeah, he's like a good
There's
weird.
a commercial for that Crystal Cell vodka that I remember seeing online years ago, and it's him holding the Crystal Cell. He just talks for like 10 minutes about ghosts and UFOs, not mentioning the vodka. He eventually brings it back around, but it's just like, look it up. It is wild.
A true history of ghosts.
Oh, hell yes.
Did you know
The
he
true
was in the
story
movie?
of Peter H. Aykroyd. There it is.
Well, I mean, he's being proven right about UFOs. The government's gonna admit it. Something's coming. Something big.
Wait till the
Aykroyd is
government admits
vindicated.
ghosts are real.
Wait, he did the voice of Yogi Bear? How did I not know that?
I didn't know that.
In the
Aykroyd?
film,
Yeah, maybe
Yogi
in the
Bear.
1996
not
film.
the classic Yogi.
Oh, yeah.
No, in 2010
Are
or
you?
whatever.
Are you?
Yeah,
do you
exactly.
think Dan Aykroyd is T.J. Miller? Is that?
Yes.
I think in certain ways.
I like that.
I think that he's a
conspiracy theory.
psychonautic warrior.
You
or
never
whatever.
see them in the same.
Well, no, because they work together.
Article.
He happens a lot with TJ.
Oh my God! This is the picture. This is the picture. He showed to Johnny
He's
Carson.
like, look at these ghosts, Johnny.
He
Wow.
said,
Oh,
"This is not fake." And then
yeah.
Carson's like, "Well, just to play devil's advocate."
Yeah, maybe it's a painting.
So Dan
It's-
Aykroyd he hosted a show created by his father, Paul Aykroyd, called Sci Factor Chronicles of the Paranormal.
I remember that.
It used to play, it was Canadian made, so it used to play here. all
Oh,
the
I was
time.
thinking of the one he did. He did one
No, he
later.
did one
on, like,
after. This
Sci-Fi,
is one from
yeah.
the early 90s, and it was so shabby. I mean, it was like you were like,
The shabbier
"Where's
the
Robert
better, though,
Stack?"
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the shabbier the better, but it you know how like there was a certain type of UFO or investigative show with reenactments that
Yes.
were so hazy
Unsolved mystery.
that you could practically
Yeah.
not see it. It was like a film over the entire
Mhm.
game.
Does
It was like
Canada
one-
have their own version of unsolved mysteries? You know, like
It was-
stuff. You know, think we're looking into
Yeah.
it stills.
like Much Music.
That's why
Yeah.
those shows are amazing, though, because it's like, how long can you keep a show going called Ghost Hunters where you just never find a ghost? It's like
I know
Right.
what
But
I know
that's
what the
like 50
It's like, you
seasons.
gotta
Like we
respect
would never put up with that with our MILF hunters if they never
I
found
know.
a MILF.
I know. Fritz.
It's episode
Mega
8. There's
Billions.
been no MILFs. What is
You gotta
this?
change
no one
the
has said
name.
MILFs.
I know what the Canadian Unsolved Mysteries is called. Do you know what it's? I know what it's called.
What
It's
is it?
called.
What's it called?
What's that about?
Got
It's
him.
people. It's people. It's
Yeah.
two people walking around with the cameras that are like this, you know, facing their
Yeah.
face, and they're just like going up to. There's a pie in a window. What's that about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
just
we
like,
had-
Here's
We don't
the
have
thing.
any
We've
crime.
got ghosts.
if
Like,
you got
we've
any
had
information,
Always just like appearing as a small Victorian child, or like opening a drawer, or like walking down a hallway. That's not scary. Ghosts
Yeah.
never kill or hurt anybody.
you know, if you
Yeah.
got if you know if
not
any,
scared
if
of
you
that,
or
it's a
anybody
drawer.
out there, if you or anybody out there, you got any information about what that might be about, you know, give us a call. 1-800-876-5353.
I'm trying to ask serious questions over here, man.
And
I'll
then
tell you.
At the
We're
end of
trying-
every episode, they're like, "Oh, thanks to your call, I can't do Canadian. Thanks to your calls. Thanks to your calls, we figured out what a lot of stuff was
How
about."
about the calls to you? That's what
That just became Irish.
It's not. I mean, it
We found a
became.
good one. We found a good
The
one.
Irish Canadians.
I love Unsolved Mysteries in Canada. It's like we're trying to solve the one murder we had this year.
I will
Everyone
tell
put
you-
our heads together.
I will tell you something about Canada. We are very grave. We love being grave, and we love being like, "Oh, that's horrible," and the world is
Yeah.
horrible in a sort of hang your head kind of way. So we don't like to get to, like, for instance, I looked up unsolved mystery Canadian shows just now, and I found CanadaUnsolved.com, and it's just depressing. It just goes
You
cold
guys are
cases.
technically part of the British Empire, the bloodiest empire in the modern era.
I mean, we've got a lot to
We're
answer for.
trying.
Skeletons in the closet.
Stephen Crowder.
Let's
And
just
Yeah,
it's
say
out
we-
without
record.
skeletons.
And we just spring fully
And
formed
pits.
from the sea here in America.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're still
Right.
trying to catch up.
On the 8th day,
Preordained by
God
the
created
Lord.
us. Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
We manifested our destiny.
We did.
And that's the way you do it.
And we
That's why
just
I'm
showed
surprised. I'm surprised the right wing doesn't embrace the woke culture more because it's all about manifest destiny, baby. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
I've gotten to the point where I hear the word woke, I literally just tune out. like,
I thought you said
Yeah.
like my
two
brain shuts down.
Maybe you could use being a little more woke.
It makes me sleepy.
James,
who's
what do you
woke?
think is the let's go back to the topic.
Oh,
What do you think
yes.
is the best food adjective?
An
What's the
adjective
food
for
descriptor?
food, or does it have to
Yeah.
be a food-based adjective like soupy?
No, it's the
Dude,
What?
I'm telling you, you are tuned into something
what?
No,
beyond
I
all of
joined
us.
on soupy.
He was here for Soupy.
I was here for soupy.
Oh,
I'm not
oh,
playing
man.
do
that.
okay.
That's
no,
a new shirt. I
whatever-
was here for Soupy.
I
We're
came
gonna
in
need a
on
lot of
Soupy.
I was,
That's what
I
my
was here
Meemaw
for
said
Soupy.
when Soupy Sales canceled
My
his tour. In
My friend says he's
1962.
on Soupy, but you got to get invited. So
I think that's if you're listening to the show, if you're watching the show, and you were here for Soupy, then you were there. You know, you were there at the beginning, so you deserve the shirt. We'll make those happen. But James, what is the description that makes you want to order that item on a menu? What's the best, most enticing adjective for food?
Dude, I mean, I'm a sucker for hearty.
Mm.
Ooh,
you mean
yeah.
Hardee's just in general?
I mean, they got good biscuits for a fucking fast food chain. But
You heard it.
yeah, like a hearty meal.
To me, that
When you're
sounds like you're a
advertising-
canned food lover.
I don't mind canned
I can't
food.
think of
I'm a
any
hillbilly.
restaurant besides Hardee's that's like, come get a hearty meal.
No, come on,
I
like
think-
a little roadside diner and shit like that.
Like a hearty stew.
A hearty
Yes,
stew.
or like
Hearty
a pot
bowl
pie.
of chili. Yeah, hearty.
Yeah, I think
shepherd's
chili
pie.
big time. Like a
Yeah.
Pot pie
chili
for
with
sure.
everything in it.
If a pot pie is described as hearty, I want to
Ah.
eat that pot pie. That sounds like it's filled with
Sounds
shit.
like an amazing pot pie.
I would
yeah.
describe the menu in the infamous eating scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom as hearty.
It was a hearty meal.
With the apes, with the monkeys?
Well,
No.
I really just wanted to bring up eating the guy's heart, but I know that didn't happen at the meal. So,
Oh, right. Got
but
it.
it was
think they
also
ate
a
the
lot of
heart.
food.
I feel like
Did
they
he
just
eat
took
the-
the heart out. I don't
Yeah, I
think that he eats
Did
it.
he eat it? I think he
Well,
ate
like
it.
some
Then the
fire.
guy got heartburn.
Hey, there it is.
They
We're
give
having
it to
fun.
That's why
the
they call him the
Caught
doctor,
fire.
folks. That's why they call him the doctor.
What else is going on?
What else is in the news?
Is what else is going on? The yes and of stand up.
Definitely.
So what else do I want to talk about?
Greg Barris, what is your top food adjective?
Someone told me the food there was transcendent. I'm in.
Okay. Okay.
Can't argue with that.
Sounds
That's a good
overpriced
one.
to me.
You're like, I don't even care what it's transcending.
How are
I
all
don't
the
care
hearty
where it's going
stews
from food.
transcendent?
No one would ever mix those two.
That's
Those
the
are two
person I'm
different
looking for in
people.
my life.
I would like to
Right.
have a transcendent pot pie sometime in my life. Just once. Just
Filling.
fucking once.
Ah,
That's all I want.
Hearty,
I've had
soupy,
a
I would-
transcendent.
There's no way I'm not pulling the order on a transcendent pot pie. That would
Yeah.
every.
Why
I
are pot
might
pies more
order two.
popular?
I've had
Why
a
have we
trans.
relegated them.
I think they take
I-
too long.
I couldn't agree
More
more.
like, I don't know.
They're
Hot
harder
pockets
than-
are a pot pie, but just worse.
Yes,
Yes, I mean I
I
love.
think
The only thing I might like more than a pot pie is
Shepherd's pie.
is shepherd's pie.
I fucking
Oh,
love shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
a
do love shepherd's
misnomer, but
Dude, shepherd's pie is sort of, now
why
that's
isn't shepherd's pie more popular here? Like meat pies and shepherd's pie should be huge in the States. We love that shit.
I know.
Starch and meat.
Carl, you couldn't have said it better, and you brought us to our next segment on the show. What
Meat
food
pie.
should be more popular? I think there's a lot of.
You just made that up.
Oh, it was all written down.
Yeah.
Oh, he wrote it
No,
that
of course
down.
not.
Look at that
No.
face.
No,
You
you
can't
just,
hide your lies behind the beard anymore.
Boyish charm over here.
More like
I was
goyish
even gonna
charm.
say, I was
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
the pot pie. I think this is a food that
It really
it's
should.
beautiful.
It should be on every menu.
I mean,
It's like a haiku in food form. It's incredible in what it does in its
I mean,
space.
Chicago had a lot of good ones. I will say that. I mean,
Yeah.
you go Midwest,
Just
you'll get
Chicago.
more. You'll get more your pie-based meals.
Chicago's the only place I've ever been to where it's many bars. It's very normal to have just a plate of bacon on the bar. It's like, here, have some bacon.
You see that in Chicago, you don't blink. You're like, bar bacon, good. I like.
Oh, they have what? They have bar bacon here, and people are just like eating the bacon from
That's
the bar.
why Chicago is one of the best eating cities in the country.
Hey, barkeep, the bacon's out. What's going on?
It's cold for like 5 months of the year.
They're like, have a pickled egg and shut your fucking mouth. And you're like, I will.
Do I reach in myself? Yes. Just reach in there.
I love a pickled egg. If there's a pickled egg there,
Dude, Cole's downtown Los Angeles, always a pickled egg thing on the bar every time. It's fucking delicious. Never not good.
Wait, can you just have one? Put your hand in?
Well, you have to pay for it, and you can't put your hand in there, but they do give you one if you want one.
It's not giving if you.
It's not a free for all in there. It's hands.
The bacon is the free bar snack in Chicago. Like you get the spicy nuts, or you get chips, or sometimes popcorn.
Has
Bacon.
anyone been to Rudy's in New York?
Hot
It's
dog.
like in
You get a free
Hell's
hot dog
Kitchen.
with every beer at Rudy's.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Wow.
and you can do
that's
that even with every
right.
beer. You just ask for a hot dog, you get a hot dog.
What was the place with free pizza? Wasn't it
Alligator Lounge.
Alligator
Oh,
Lounge,
yeah.
yeah.
You get a pizza.
These are
with your
great
beer.
concepts. Great.
You get a whole
concepts.
pizza with your beer.
Groundbreaking.
When
I know.
WWF had their restaurant in Times Square, WWF New York, they had the best happy hour in the world. It was half price drinks and free wings.
Wow.
wow.
That's an insane business model. Were they hemorrhaging money or did it work?
No, they were hemorrhaging money.
Times Square.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dude, if Guy Fieri can't make it work in Times Square,
I don't
Who
know.
nobody
can?
can. All right?
What's
That's
your
just
favorite
trouble. Well,
Times Square?
Was it just a bunch of old wrestlers working in the kitchen and shit?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
It was like
Jake the Snake needs
God.
a job.
I
Okay,
have
you're the line cook.
CBD. I can't
Hey.
cook this.
Quit complaining and bake that cake, Jake the Snake.
yeah. Lanny Poffo is
He's landed.
handling pastries every day. He's rolling them out.
Just the barber beefcakes cutting with the shears.
Oh,
All right. Now you've got my interest.
Bad News Brown has some good news. Here is your food.
wow.
I think they should have made all of those restaurants in Times Square smaller. If they were funkier little joints, if they were funkier, littler, then I think they all would have done
Funky
that.
left Times Square in the 70s with
Yeah.
all the pimps and drug
It's
dealers.
hard to have a funky place in Times Square, you know. For
Well-
$1 million a month, you lose the funk.
Yeah, it's funky.
man.
The
TRL.
funkiest you can get in Times Square is the green M&M. She's a freak.
And
I used to eat at the
steak is
Tad's.
funk. You don't want any
I
part
used
of
to eat, I used to eat at the Tad's Steakhouse constantly in Times Square until they shut it down.
that. What was it?
Tad's Steakhouse?
Oh. Sounds great.
Oh, that's the name of one
I
of
think
my
the-
worst bosses. So that would be hard for me to go there. But what was good? The Tad
The
steak.
M&M store is probably the funkiest store in Times Square.
That's
Might be. Tad's apparently was like a chain. Like it was bigger in like the 60s and 70s. It was like, oh yeah, we'll go to the Tad's Steakhouse. And there were two in Midtown at one point.
Wow.
But it was like a taxi driver. It was a cafeteria. And you go up and you order what steak you want, and then you sit there, and everyone ate alone. It was wonderful.
A bunch of men eating steak alone
Yes.
in Times
I
Square.
always wanted to go to that place
Tads.
in Taxi Driver. That's like, you see that, you're like, that's some classic New York shit. It's probably terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just mean to you. That's what I want.
yeah.
I know when they don't need to be nice to you, you really go, all right, I'm in your world, and I know that.
This
All
is
right,
where De
I
Niro
yield.
had a steak before he fashioned his arm holster gun in Taxi Driver.
That's right.
He just had like a fork that would come out when he ate.
Every restaurant that's going for the cafeteria style has a huge uphill battle on their hands.
Yeah.
That is a rough aesthetic to make work,
I'm into
but
it.
people do it.
I'm into
Yeah.
it. I'm into Clifton's, back when it was really
Right.
rough, and it was
40s.
It was kind of like preserving that classic, like in like the 20s, it was like, you got a plate of food for a nickel and you shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, like I got this giant breakfast, like it was a breakfast sandwich, and the patty was just giant and flavorless, which is such a weird.
Yeah, they tried to reopen it and capture that old cafeteria charm. Did not work.
Yeah, I remember Harlan Ellison telling some story about when he first moved to New York in the 50s. There was some place in Times Square he would go to every night. And it was like for like $5, you got a huge plate of spaghetti with like 2 meatballs, big hunks of bread, like a giant iced tea. And that was what all the broke writers did. They just you got paid per word, and then he would get his money and then go and hang out in Times Square at night in the 50s. And he was like, after dark, then that's when all the gay people would come out, the interracial couples, like they would go see Tiny Tim when he was like coming up.
He died on stage, Tiny Tim.
Just like me every night, Greg. What else is going on?
All right,
has anyone bombed yet? Live?
James Bond?
I haven't performed yet.
Yeah, I hope it's a huge crowd. I hope it goes really bad. I want to really, when you just run a nice big one, that really it resets your whole system.
I hope my first bomb is like a benefit show, like a really classy one.
And may your first bomb be a manly bomb.
I think that maybe audiences are going to be easier to laugh, but what I've been hearing is that there's a lot of heckling going on.
Oh, they've been
cooped up.
Really?
They've been cooped up. They haven't been able to say anything to someone in forever.
They've only been annoying their family.
That's right. It's like when
you're like, I got zingers.
Right.
It's like I
haven't been kicked out of a bar in a year and a half.
My wife left me 4 months ago. I've had no one to scream at drunkenly.
Hey, I don't go to your job and tell the unemployment office that you actually made $100 this week doing something that's funny.
Hey, I don't get on the phone with EDD for 3 hours a day.
Where's the $100 show, Nick?
That'll be next year, my friend. Things are looking up.
Excited.
There's always guys at comedy shows that really don't want to laugh. They just want to pick a fight, and I feel like that number's gone way up.
People, it's getting real chippy out there. It's going to be a wild summer.
There's also just going to be
problem. You still have to like have your mask on when you're walking around in bars, so you can't even see someone and be like, "Hey, I don't like your fucking face," because you can't see anyone's face yet.
Right.
That's
like
that's 30% of all bar fights. What are we supposed to be doing? Now we have to make up new excuses. I don't like the way you're slouching.
You at my house and just stabbing it at no one just to feel something.
Now I have to get to know a guy's personality before I beat his ass.
Hey, I don't like the way we just talked for 2 fucking hours, okay?
They're talking about, someone mentioned Sparrow in the chat.
Sparrow?
As like something that's just terrible?
Actually, the Wolf Mike mentioned it in reference to the Fat Boys in Crush Groove.
You know what? I'll take CC's over Sparrow.
Dude, Sbarro was like of my youth in the mall. Always bad. Literally always bad.
Always bad.
I don't know. I used to think it was fancy.
Trump once famously took someone to Sbarro's and then literally said, "I know the best pizza place in New York."
No.
Took him there, and then he ate the pizza with a fork and knife. This is true. Look it up.
Is that where that Seinfeld thing came from, where he eats the candy bar with a fork and knife?
I don't know what you're talking about. Carl, what is this?
How do you eat it? With your hands?
Here's some Carl Hess on the show right now. Great comedian. American treasure, dare I say.
Give a round of applause.
Couldn't agree more. Yes. Yeah.
Carl Hess.
Carl is my roommate and comrade.
Oh my God. Can he just run in on your camera right now?
Good.
We could, but you know.
Greg has one chair in his room, and he's in it right now. So.
Yeah, I'm in the chair. And I don't know Seinfeld so well, so Carl regales me with tales of Seinfeld.
Greg has never seen Seinfeld or The Simpsons, the 2 most important shows of my childhood, the foundational bedrock of my comedic sensibility. So I think of my brain is always just bringing up Simpsons and Seinfeld scenes, and I'm like laughing about it. And then I have to like tell Greg because he doesn't understand the reference. But in the telling, I get to relive the moment.
Yeah, so I only know Seinfeld through Carl telling it to me, and I love it. It's the best show. But I have a very like singing telegram version of Seinfeld. It's always very but it's
Trust me,
great.
my version just as good as the regular.
I think better. I don't
I have
even.
no
you know,
doubt.
There's no way I could hold a flame to the.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trump went to Sbarro's with Sarah Palin, and he on camera tells Sarah Palin that this is the best pizza. I know the best pizza
fucking
place in New
amazing.
York.
That's amazing.
Stacking
Never
two
have anyone as
slices.
funny as Trump again. I hope everybody realizes that.
Yeah.
He stacked 2 slices of pizza on top of each other and then continued to eat them
We'll
with a
never
fork
have
and
a
knife.
president this funny. I hope you people drank it in when you had the chance.
He called it, "This is a bit of a pizza mecca," on air.
Well,
all
can't
roads
write
do
this
lead
shit.
to Sparrow. That's true.
yeah.
You can't write that shit.
on every
You
road.
can't write that, and I mean, if that's not an early warning sign.
And then he funded Israel to bomb Sbarro.
Israel, Hamas is hiding in multiple Sbarro locations.
It seems like almost all of them.
Something to look into. I don't know. IDF, you're probably watching. So
I think that probably this is a welcome break for those involved in that conflict to watch this stream.
Sure.
We're big and on the strip. We all know that.
both
True.
the Vegas, the Gaza.
Sunset,
All the
Sunset, all the
strips.
strips, poker, everything.
Steak.
chicken.
Biden seemed like he was
Peas.
going to be a funny president. He was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
they got him too under wraps,
Biden,
man.
if
Yeah.
Biden's brain degenerates to the point where he's at like Reagan second term level,
Oh yeah, that would be
Swiss cheese
great.
brain,
Yeah.
he'll be funny then. But the problem is he has way better handlers than Trump. So if he
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
Swiss cheese brain, we won't see it that much. But he could.
And the lockdown and COVID, everything kept let him do stuff remotely, and he gets.
Are we calling it Swiss cheese brain?
I mean,
the
that's one
technical
term for it.
I think it was Swiss doctors first discovered.
Is that your favorite food adjective?
They have
Swiss
great-
cheese is Biden-esque.
Is this head cheese? No, it's Swiss cheese brain. It's different. It's
That's all right.
American.
The funny thing about Biden is he has this like folksy demeanor, but he gets angry really
He's the
quickly.
devil.
Yeah.
That was the best. He's beyond defensive.
He gets like
And-
pissed off at people and has a short fuse and will just say shit, and like that can be very funny.
My
No, it's
favorite.
literally like you watch an old footage of Biden when he had like less hair on like the Senate floor and shit, and he's just a mad asshole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
the thing.
like,
He was less funny then and just more of an asshole.
well, right, but then
Yes.
Obama and the Onion and TV was like, it's our Uncle Joe because Obama's cool and he likes this old white guy, you know.
But that wasn't
And-
anything Biden did. That was like
No.
them putting that on Biden.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, they like this aviators thing.
Although
And
I
I don't-
will say that one picture where he's at the biker bar and he has like the biker woman on his lap, and then like the biker guy is like sitting next to him, and he's like, that
Oh, yeah.
picture, hilarious. That's
cool.
some classic.
I mean, nothing will top Shut Up Fat. I
Yeah.
mean, but
Shut Up Fat's amazing.
Shut Up
no,
Fat's
it was
legendary.
actually wasn't it
Listen Fat. Listen Fat.
Listen Fat.
Fat.
But
Listen,
I
Fat.
think that he should have a rotation of American muscle cars parked in front of the White House.
Oh,
I
he
think
goes
that should
crazy
be.
with cars. He's like a little boy.
I mean, I love cars too, so I get it. But
It's like
It's-
Trump in that truck.
It's like Trump in the
No.
trunk. These presidents are just little boys obsessed with the garbage truck coming through the neighborhood and doing the honk sign at it.
But the other thing I liked the best about the
This
Trump,
picture.
the only thing that was
Yeah.
funny about the Trump administration to me was just like how quick people who were fired would then tell the entire story.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
they just walk right out and they're like,
Book
"Fuck
deal."
shit, I'm
Yeah,
so
they're all
mad."
grifters. They're all
Like, it's
grifters,
fucked.
too. Yeah.
My
He's
favorite
rubbing
Biden
the
quote so
biker's
far.
arms. Sorry, go ahead.
My favorite Biden quote so far is the one where he goes, he's like, "Hey, guess what? Grows the economy."
Oh yeah. He's so condescending. When
He's so condescending.
Did you
So
see the
annoying.
thing today where he was in that car? He loves cars. And then
Oh.
someone's like, he's like, I'm going to go real fast. And they're like, can we ask you one more question about Israel? He goes, only if you get in front of the car when I hit the accelerator.
Oh my
That was
god.
today. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
He
leadership.
did end it with "ha
no,
Yeah.
yeah. Then he goes,
Everybody
"Ah,
laughed.
I'm just teasing.
ha."
You're like, that's not.
I'm just
I feel
teasing.
like-
You can't ask me anything about Israel.
Exactly. This is actually one of their tactics. Get in front of the car.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was real. I saw that too, and I was just like, oh man, this is when politicians try to implement humor in a serious situation that they don't have under control. It's never a good mix. It's like, oh,
even Obama, he could do it usually, but one of his big fuck ups was the Flint water when he drank that. And he was kind of trying to be funny, and it was like.
And it was like, well, clearly that's not the water.
Yeah. We've seen the video of the faucets.
You're not even selling it good.
And that was what was so like just unbelievable during the Trump last year, when he would just be like saying whatever about COVID at the rallies, like just doing the stand-up set that everyone wanted to be doing.
It was the only stand-up we got for a whole year.
Dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Good.
That's a good note to everybody that's thinking about getting into stand-up comedy. It's not about the victory lap. Trump was trying to run the victory lap, and he wasn't running the race. And that's what a lot of
stand-up comedy brain though, whereas Biden has like establishment brain.
Yeah.
And now Swiss cheese brain.
And Reagan had like talk show guests.
Reagan had actor brain.
Well, I mean, but he was funny when he's the great Satan in my opinion, but like was.
Reagan had swag when he was young.
Yeah, he was witty with comebacks. You know, he had good timing.
What was that great put down he had for the hippie? He was like, he talked like Tarzan, looked like
Jane,
had hair like Jane, smelled like, whatever.
The gorilla.
The gorilla.
But like he just went like
said much better than that.
He just went like
hair like Tarzan. Talks like Tarzan, hair like Jane, smells like the gorilla.
That sounds like Muhammad Ali. Like you smell like a gorilla. You look like Jane.
It's one of his deleted taunts.
I feel like a lot of political jargon is just like poorly hashed out Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali was the best talker of ever.
Best shit talker ever.
Of all time.
Getting back to Rob Ford, who we brought up maybe even before this went on air. I was talking about the former mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford.
James?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Now it's a little stuffy in here.
Okay.
He had the wild, he had some real crazy quotes that pretty much culminated in when he was accused of performing a sex act in public on a woman who wasn't his wife. He said, he said at a press conference, I wasn't eating her punani.
Let's see.
I'll say punani.
That's you being polite.
Did he say punani or did you say
That's
punani?
worse.
If you had said punani, that would have been so much funnier.
So
he
much
probably
funnier.
would have
Almost
said
excusable.
punani. He spoke patois in a video that leaked. So, I mean, he's down to say punani. He said it in his brief life.
Well, I didn't know punani was
He came out on
patois this whole
TV and said,
time.
I didn't eat her pussy.
He said, I didn't eat her pussy. I have
On
more than enough.
television?
And he said, I have more than enough to eat at home.
Yeah.
I remember that actually. I
God.
didn't realize he said
Was
pussy.
this a Mother's
I didn't
Day
tell his
card?
news.
Yeah, he definitely said that, but he also like
that as a
grossly
Mother's Day card.
mumbled it into his collar. He was
I got
like,
a fridge in the basement full of leftover pussy. I can't even get to.
he
I
was
honestly,
like-
I think I only know that word from the Ice Cube song.
which song that's
Today was a good day.
Yeah, a good day.
Punani.
He says,
Oh, yeah.
Punani?
He killed the poor punani.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He killed it.
Carl,
It's an East Coast thing. It's
The people in the chat want to know what you're drinking.
Oh, I'm
Good
drinking.
chat humans.
I'm drinking some wine.
Carrie Smick in particular.
Hmm.
What is it? Tell us about it.
Yeah, describe it. Give us notes.
It's it's a white wine from Alsace.
No, use food, drink adjectives.
It is. It has
Carl,
angular
smell-
acidity with a well-balanced finish,
There you go.
fresh fruit on the nose, and a lingering palate of wet stone.
Whoa, wow.
Wow. Wet stone.
No notes.
That's actually used in wine a lot. You hear a lot of people be like rain on stone, like when rain
Yes.
is wet stone.
Mhm.
That's a flavor.
As you said that, my nose went, I know.
I mean, it's an evocative. Everybody knows that smell.
I'm evoked.
Consider me evoked. Evocative, that's another good food adjective. If you see evocative, that makes you go, you
Like I'm
nasty.
aroused.
I was just
You
thinking
evoke
about food. I didn't know this was
The
going to
tacos at Diablo Taco Fabricator are evocative of actual tacos.
I think my favorite wine descriptor that I've seen actually used is, and it's so specific and evocative, fresh can of tennis balls. You know when you crack that fucking metal top? That's
not appetizing though, is it?
Yeah, but like somehow in wine it works. Like some wines will be like kind of rubbery or like people will say like petrol-y, like almost like a gasoline, but like in a good way. I mean, some people don't like it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like fresh cut garden hose as well.
Well, I mean, I huff
Cut
gas,
garden
but I don't
hose.
like it in my wine.
Sure. Yeah.
Petrol is a classy word.
Yeah. You'll hear like petrol-y, like, you know, it's not the taste, but it's like the smell. You know? Petrol.
It smells like a freshly opened and spooned jar of petroleum jelly.
I want it to smell like when you spill some gas on your jeans and you just crack a Red Bull. A little, you know, that's
Fresh Red Bull.
Oh, America?
yes. America's
America smells like. That's not wine. That's a country.
It is time for us to pick a scent for America. You know, we've got a bird, we've got a song. What about America's?
Or like whatever they put in black powder, cordite.
Right.
Cordite's pretty good.
Yeah, cordite and light beer.
Oh yeah, that light beer especially. You can smell it's missing something. You're like, oh, something's not here. Okay. I wanted to bring back to our topic that I only introduced. We barely even got to it. Nick Flanagan, I'm going to ask you first. What food should be more popular?
What foods should be more popular?
What should be more popular? More ubiquitous?
More ubiquitous. That's a great question.
Gotta go with poutine, Nick.
No, I don't have to go with poutine. It's very popular.
You can't find it here. I've Googled it many times.
We should have poutine shops on every fucking corner in this
agree.
You know what?
Where are you getting your poutine in LA?
No, somewhere places, but I literally couldn't say off the top of my head. I remember.
No, you get it at Jay's Bar. Jay's Bar has
places.
poutine.
There are places though.
But it's not very poutine-y. It's not very poutine.
Exactly.
But Jay's Bar is, I think, slightly Canadian owned and does offer poutine.
I think I've had the one at Jay's Bar.
Yeah.
At it, it's not.
You need those good cheese curds. That's
exactly.
I would imagine you could probably get decent poutine in like Vermont.
Get
or
poutine in
somewhere
New Orleans.
Okay, I'll just pop over to Vermont.
You should. Your dad, Bernie Sanders, is there. Why don't you go say hi?
He's my little brother.
No, I'm gonna say.
That's weird. The left turning on itself.
Tandoori chicken.
Oh.
And dosa. You know, like
Seems
Indian.
like there are a lot of those out there.
But you want to go to
lot
dosa.
of tandoori chicken and dosa. Around.
Okay, then.
Your answer was wrong, Nick.
Damn it.
No, I'm just saying. If you want it, I can point you in the right direction.
I don't know why you pivoted from poutine.
I'm like, Karl is the guy, the one guy who's going to be like, actually, there's a place I know that like for anything we say.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been trying to track down that fish sandwich you took an Instagram photo of for like 4 months.
I'll send you the info. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't every food pretty much maxed out at this point? Like people are checking them out, you know?
Sounds like a cop out.
All right, hot chicken sandwiches. Thank you.
Oh God.
Bye.
I live in Glendale. There's literally 4 that I can walk to right now. It's crazy.
I hope that's
you're
reaching
lucky.
the rest of the country. I hope everybody's getting hot chicken sandwiches.
They are. If you're in a major urban center, you definitely are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they hitting the suburbs? Are there strip malls?
Right now, I would say yes.
Yeah, right. I would think so, but some things just don't travel well. Like Caribbean food. There's just not a lot of Caribbean food restaurants, and a lot of that's just so delicious. And I think everybody would enjoy this.
We have so much Caribbean here.
Do you really?
Yes. I've been eating that stuff for.
Oh, I thought you were just.
That's actually true in Toronto. I had like a lot of really good like Jamaican and Caribbean food when I was in Toronto.
It's the greatest.
Side note: I once witnessed Karl eat raw horse meat in Toronto.
Okay.
That's true.
Oh, at La Palette.
What?
Live off the bone.
Parkdale? Is that a neighborhood in Toronto?
Yeah, I think I
You
know
just
the
get a horse
place
leg at
you
the
probably
table?
have
No, it was
there.
at a Japanese place, and they were like,
Oh.
we have horse sashimi on the menu. Just raw
Whoa.
sliced
What
horse
the
meat.
fuck?
And I was like, well, definitely give me that. And it was fucking amazing.
Well,
What does horse meat taste like? What is put it in the zone?
Like
You know,
water on a
It tasted very
stone.
meaty. I wouldn't say beefy, but it was like meaty. It was hearty.
Karl,
It was fucking hearty, and it was unctuous.
Was it
Karl,
transcendent?
you want to hear something transcendent? This is going to
Yeah.
blow your mind.
Yes.
I'm in Parkdale right now.
I stayed in Parkdale, and I was kind of near Maddie Matheson's restaurant, Parts and Labor.
Yes.
There's an izakaya, a Japanese place on that main road. I forget what it's called.
Queen Street.
Yeah, so
It's famous.
yes, somewhere over there. Somewhere over there.
This is incredible. Horse meat. I don't know,
Maggie,
Karl.
we're talking about how I ate horse one
Hi,
time.
Maggie. Welcome to the last
Maggie.
10 minutes.
Welcome to No Reservations.
Sorry I was late. Were you in Switzerland or something?
What's that?
Were you in Switzerland?
I was actually in Toronto, where Nick is right now, and there they eat horse on the fucking regular. Not a big deal there. And
No. I just told the chat Canadians don't eat horse. Only
no, you eat horse.
You
The
horse
Americans.
eaters.
You eat fucking horse. You don't eat horse.
We only
Isn't that-
serve horse because of Americans.
Isn't that what the meatballs at IKEA are?
Right.
It's illegal. It's
Legit.
illegal to serve horse in the States, whereas in Toronto and in Montreal, they're eating horse left and right.
No, we do have. I've been to. There's
Incredible.
Matt Matheson worked at a French place. that
Cancel
served horse.
culture has
For sure.
taken over. We can't
Canada,
eat
you're
horse.
canceled.
You're out
What?
of here.
What is the reasoning that you're not allowed to eat a horse in America?
We haven't figured
They're
out a
so
way
pretty,
to.
Matt. They're so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
they're pretty?
No, the glue
they-
industry.
When horses
Yeah,
run free, they're
Big glue is why.
Because they have jobs. Horses are police, so you can't eat a
That's
police.
right.
I think that's true. You can't eat a cop. Can you eat a cop in
Horses are out
Canada?
here working.
Yes, you
okay?
can eat a cop in Canada. We have horse
Huh?
cops too.
I guess
They're
I don't know
called
who's more
mountain
free,
men.
but it doesn't
Called
seem like we are.
Mounties, though.
Mountain
They have
men.
way more horse cops in Canada than mounted police.
I'll tell you, I
They
wish
got
there were more horse
fleet of them.
cops. You know, like they couldn't talk. You know what I'm saying? Shut up.
I like the what? I like the idea of a
Of eating a
an
cop?
all cop menu. It's like we serve cop
Yeah.
dogs. We serve there was a cop chicken in Norway. We served cop chicken.
I
Horses
want
great.
mine.
I recommend
I want
anyone
to
out there
substitute.
who can get their hands on some horse to do it.
I want to substitute. I want to substitute my fries with some tater cops.
I don't eat meat. I don't eat
Copper.
meat.
They'd be
Potato
copper
cops.
tops.
Well, here's the thing.
Wow.
Why it's hypocrisy. Pigs are way smarter than horses. And
Yeah.
we
And police.
billions, whereas we can't eat a horse because they
Oh,
have
so you
pretty
only
hair.
think we
Okay.
should murder people based on their intelligence? Got it.
Yes. Exactly.
and their genetics, James.
Oh, okay. This has never gone wrong.
James, what food do you think should be more popular?
Horse. I want it now.
Put a horse in my mouth.
I'm
Gotta
from
admit, I'm
Kentucky.
curious.
I'm from Kentucky. If you bet on your horse at the Derby and it loses, you should get to eat it.
That's not wrong.
Look, they're
Oh,
killing
should
all
be-
the horses at the horse tracks. What are
Exactly.
they doing?
They shoot them. Right. There's people starving. I would honestly say my real answer is I wish there were more open pit, loose meat barbecue places.
Yes.
Wow. Definitely agree with that.
That's a good thing.
Pit beef.
So just melty. I miss that.
When you meet someone that has dedicated their entire life to getting that meat to fall off the bone, I mean, everything they say is poetry. It's all, and I just love it. I really love the craftsmanship that goes into it.
They have a respect for it, man. It's not just it's not fast food to them, It's they almost pray to the fucking meat before they
Yeah,
cook
it's
it.
very slow. It's very slow.
Yeah.
meat.
It takes forever.
They happily get up at 3 a.m. to get it going, and you're like, this isn't. You're not cooking. You're doing something different.
Yeah.
This is
wanna-
witchcraft.
Oh, if you
I
like
wanna-
that shit, there's a whole season of Chef's Table on Netflix that's all about barbecue pit masters.
Ooh, I would love that.
I
It's
want
very
to start a restaurant that just sells barbecue sides. Like mac and cheese, coleslaw,
That banana pudding with vanilla
Yeah.
wafers in it.
paper
Ooh,
towel.
Cornbread.
I miss good cornbread.
Yeah, I knew a barbecue side too.
I never said you didn't, man.
Yeah.
I actually consider
look.
you my comedy equal vis-a-vis barbecue sides.
Greg, I was
I'll
wondering,
accept that.
what food do you think should be more popular?
Who, me?
I was asking Greg, but no, Maggie, I
sorry.
think you should answer.
I'll go to Maggie for this one.
Wait, is it popular or more like available where we are?
Yes,
You already did
more
yours.
out there, more around.
I just
more
want to make
available.
sure I nailed it like I thought I did.
Okay.
did.
Give me 1 second. Go to Greg first.
Okay, Greg, what do you think?
Yeah.
What food do you think should be more ever present?
Okay.
man.
Foods that would be more ever present. How about you don't see enough? I mean, how about like a souvlaki? You're not getting a lot of souvlaki out there.
I couldn't even tell you what is
I
in a
wouldn't know.
souvlaki.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that's on fire?
That's the Opa cheese.
Oh,
Walk us through a souvlaki, Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a goat, and then you wrap it in its own intestine on a spit, and then you slow turn that for like, I don't know, all of church, however long church is.
Oh, geez, that's so funny.
And then by the time church is over, they'll put it in a little bit of a pita for you, or maybe make a little plate. You get some tzatziki, you get some different sauces on there, probably some onions and peppers, maybe just mostly onions though. Maybe a
Pretty
maybe a
delicious.
tomato.
Ooh, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Actually.
You mostly eat it just like right off the skewer, from what I've seen.
You gotta put
could
it
eat
in a
off the
pita,
skewer. You could, if you're on the go, you get it, put it in a pita pocket. You just put
A
it
lot
on a
of
plate.
a lot of Greek-owned diners and restaurants and stuff will hook you up with the souvlaki sandwich, no
We need
questions
more
asked.
Greek food in LA. I mean, I know there's places like Detroit where there's like a Greek diner on every corner, but in
Yeah,
LA,
I agree.
we need way more Greek places.
The Greek food in LA,
Agreed.
there's only like 2 spots, and
What are
they?
they're
What-
overtaxed.
What are
Papa
they?
Christos, that's probably the #1 all Greek. I mean, they got like the 6
Christos
types of
rules.
feta. They're making spanakopita. You get a
Papa
spinach
Christos,
pie over
I'm
there.
writing
They
this
got
down.
the
Caramelized
olives.
Yeah.
Look up Papa Christo. He's got a giant mustache. He's a very
He's a
small
Greek man with a
man.
large mustache and an even bigger personality. It's exactly what you want him to be.
Exactly.
Exactly. And they got all the good
Christo?
stuff there. Papa
Papa Christo.
Christos. It was just Greek Easter, as we all know, which comes after the vernal equinox, after Passover, and then it's the first Sunday after the full moon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
To forget.
what's the other place?
The other place
Mama
is
Christos.
well, I would say that it's not really Greek. It's not really Greek as much as it is Mediterranean, but I love Dune, and they got the good Mediterranean stuff. They got that
Okay.
whipped garlic. They got a beet feta sandwich. They got a Greek salad.
Dude.
They do the cucumbers. Dune is great.
Dune,
If you go to
Dune is
Dune
very
salad.
underrated. I
Dude,
I love
fucking
Dune.
rules.
Dune.
Yeah.
feel like the critics gave David Lynch way too hard of a time.
It's challenging
seen-
material.
It's longer than one church, that's for sure.
That's true.
The spice. Have you tried the spice?
It must flow.
Have you seen the Jodorowsky documentary where he's talking about how he went to go watch Dune like 15 years later with his son, and he was like, I never watched it. I was so angry. And then I watched it, and I was like, I look at my son, I said, this is shit, right?
Oh,
Not the restaurant,
There is a-
though.
there's a place called like Gyromania that's up in.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
somewhere.
traditional.
It's
Is
very.
this the place that you made it up, Matt? A wrestling
No, I
street
I
restaurant?
swear it's somewhere in the valley. It's pretty good, and if you go there with a kid, they give you free ice cream.
Well, it's pronounced Euromania, but okay.
I like saying Gyromania because it reminds me of that Cosby Show where they go to Dance Mania, and I sing it like Gyromania. Oh, add it to the list, Karl. You never watched the Cosby Show either. You kind of missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really you can't.
Watch it, actually.
There's no putting that genie back in the bottle.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Wouldn't that have been weird if it was like The Sopranos this pandemic? People were just like, oh, yeah, can't do it, though. Our culture.
I was
is
at Best
too
Buy.
fast.
I was at Best Buy today, of course, looking at the Blu-rays. A guy, I have never seen this man before in my life. He comes up to me. We're the only people in the little, and it's so sad how small the video section is now at Best Buy. Comes up to me. He's got Sons of Anarchy,
Yeah.
Sopranos. And he goes, hey, man, if you were going to pick which one, I go,
what?
Oh, well, The Sopranos. And he goes, but is this other show good? And then I go, have you ever watched The Sopranos? And he goes, no. And I go, dude.
You just changed that man's life today.
Yeah.
I said to him, I was like, I'm almost jealous you're going to watch it for the first time.
Yeah,
but I got to tell you,
not
Sons
gonna
of
get
Anarchy
that.
is a romp.
Yeah, and you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that badass theme song.
Yeah, just be like, watch both. It's called Becoming a Man.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, dog.
Also,
Hulu.
yeah, just be like, get a Hulu free trial and go nuts for a month.
Yeah.
Is the Sopranos theme song not on the DVD?
Oh, no, I meant the Son of Anarchy theme song, which is one of the most unintentionally hilarious.
The music
dude, that song is inspirational. Are you kidding me? The Sons of Anarchy theme song?
How does it go, Maggie?
Put that on when you're working
Right
out.
into this world.
On your own.
Oh, yes.
Let me go put my Sons of Anarchy jet on right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bring back a knife or something, too.
Sons of Anarchy opening credits is fucking art.
Get a switchblade and get the jacket on. Put on, you already got a bandana on, so.
I started watching
Maggie
the Mayans
just
last night.
cruising down Sunset Boulevard in a crazy, 80s hog.
Oh. Sold. You just, whatever show you were pitching, you just sold it, Greg. I missed the setup, but pitch.
I've actually not watched Sons. Should I?
I can picture Maggie with a cool.
You should watch it.
Yeah,
seen it?
Oh wow!
I started it and I dropped off, and then it went. It was one of those where I'm like, I'm too far behind now.
You absolutely
Maggie,
have to watch it.
I like it. You make it emo.
Oh, I'm just hanging out with this Sons of Anarchy.
That's right.
The skeleton's doing the Gallimimus there. I'm on board.
I actually have a framed photo of Jax Teller, and it's still in my car.
God bless
Oh man, I have. Maggie,
people carry a picture of a saint in their car to protect them.
Jax
That's
is
what
a
you do.
saint.
Like that.
He gave up so much for the family.
Patron saint of Pharaoh.
The way he pronounces family, it makes me so happy. It's not the way anyone says the word family. It's so fun. It's like,
Here's the funny thing. British actors can do a flawless American accent, no problem. Australian actors, they cannot.
Yeah.
It's
a lot more
so
intense
close.
of a native language. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Maggie, what would be your food? Have you marinated on this? Thank you.
Yes. I got a couple. One is since we're going places. That didn't make any sense.
We're going places,
baby.
We're going places.
We are.
International, I mean. But I would like more restaurants with Nigerian food that I
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Such as what?
jollof rice.
Okay.
Ooh.
And
Tell us.
Is it a hearty rice?
Yeah, it's like a rice with tomato, like a tomato sauce kind of thing, and there's a bunch of different you can customize all kinds of meats in it. And there's onions. It's delicious.
Doesn't LA have like a little strip of Nigerian restaurants?
No, that's Ethiopia. There's actually very little African food in LA outside of little Ethiopia.
That's too bad.
But Toronto,
there's not like a little
I
Nigeria
had the
anywhere.
Nigerian food in Toronto. Toronto has surprisingly like a ton of African food.
I mean, we got everything. It's the greatest. You just got to drive around. But yeah, we got Nigerian, Ethiopian, Senegalese, Ghana is in the mix. It's all happening. I don't go, but I hear it's good.
No, I've never been. I hear it's good.
I just can't do sit down restaurants.
Is it because of the aggressive panhandling outside?
No, I've eaten mostly Ethiopian. It's amazing, but I should try more African.
That was the one time I've been to Toronto. That was the big impression I was left with. I was like, man, I'm getting hit up everywhere I'm going.
By aggressive, yeah, we have a lot of
very aggressive too. Like a kind of like, do you have $1? No, man, I'm sorry. How about 50 cents? I'm like, whoa, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they definitely slide down the scale. They'll go $1, cigarette, help.
Yeah, you're like, hold on.
That is fucking
Like,
bleak.
look, bro, you have any general help you can give
Yeah.
me?
Bend your ear.
But that was something that was
Yeah.
really weird for me, Benjer.
5?
Was like going to the US and being like, okay, so the homelessness at this point is like they assume you're not giving them money.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
the worst.
They're just
Oh, yeah.
they're just
They're
hanging
just
out.
bummed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good for you guys.
Clearly, you guys have never come across crust punks ever. I don't know if you've never
No.
been to Portland or New Orleans.
No, I don't count
Yes.
them.
No, you don't count.
That
them.
doesn't
Those
count.
those guys are
I
like
was-
undercover boss.
No, if you have a dog with dyed hair, you can do something else. You can get money.
I mean,
I'm just saying for
If you're a
like
white
for
boy
setting
with
you up
the
for
dog.
cigs and money and shit.
Yeah.
no,
I
you're
know a
totally
guy-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
I know a
the
guy
boom of
once-
that in Chicago. It was fucking so irritating because it's like there's actual homeless people right beside you, and
Yeah.
you're like getting in front of them and playing guitar badly, and you're like,
There was always in my hometown, there were always those crust punk students hanging, and they all like there was a lot of binkies, a lot of pacifiers
Yeah.
going on, and it's very weird having an old teen with dreadlocks and a pacifier. You're like, what?
Settling.
Yeah,
What's going on here?
it's like
No,
you're
this
just
is
doing
okay.
this for a summer.
I don't like
To, like,
baby
have the
fetishes. I don't like
experience.
baby culture. The whole baby thing is grosses me out. Scares me actually. I'm
Same.
unsettled. Is the right word.
I know a guy who he was.
That's a
he-
good
he-
food adjective.
I know a guy. He'd really gotten his life together, but this is a guy who was like in and out of the system for like a number of years, and he was in San Francisco for an appointment he had, and he's wearing a suit, and he's walking through the hate, and he walks past the street kids, and they go, "Oh, have a because they see him in a suit, and they go, "Oh, have a pleasant afternoon, officer," and he gets like a few more feet, and he's just like, and the steam is coming out of his collar, and he goes back, he goes, "Hey, why don't you have some self-respect and fucking mug somebody?"
Yes.
You're not even chasing paper.
Y'all, I have to go, but I love
Yeah.
you. I'll see you next week. Carl,
You have to
thanks for
go
being here.
on Carl's camera.
Yeah,
I
you
have to
gotta-
go use Carl's camera.
Okay.
Do a duet for you guys.
You have to.
But bye, everyone.
Bye-bye,
Bye, Greg.
Thanks. Thanks.
Happy
for being my
birthday.
friends.
Bye, Greg.
Hey, thank you. Bye.
I want to make sure we're
Wait,
wrapping up
Greg,
the episode.
Jesus Christ.
Your roommate. I don't know what's going on with him, man. It's-
Matt, have you given us what food you feel like should be more available? I don't think I've heard.
That the bubble gum that's shaped like cigars.
Solid.
Can't find it
Agree
anywhere.
more.
Find that shit anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually hearing about it just now. Where's it been?
Is Big League Chew still around?
That's
They-
still
oh,
around,
yeah.
but like I
More like
feel like they
Big
rounded up
League.
the candy cigarettes, and then they got rid of all that.
definitely. It was
That's
so
those
cool to
cigars-
blow the powdered
Takes
smoke.
back the day.
Yeah, the ones with the powdered smoke was like that's so boss.
I definitely
Oh,
never
man.
saw powdered smoke. That did not make
Oh
it here.
man, it was.
Oh.
You got that from like the 5 and dime store when you were a kid. You felt like you were
Yeah.
on top of the world.
We had
Also,
Popeye
like that
cigs,
art of-
but not those.
I also wouldn't mind a few more opportunities to get like that artificial juice, but like it's shaped like a grenade.
Oh,
Mhm.
Those-
Yeah, it's like
Those are
bright
awesome.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like on a good day, I'd get like
We
3
had that.
different colors of it. and
What's
be
the
like,
one where it's in the wax and you like bite it and then you?
Oh yeah.
That was like the same thing. It was like
Is that a juice? You're not talking about pixie sticks type of thing.
no,
right?
it was
like
No, it was a juice.
wax and you would bite it and suck it down. It was like, what are we doing? What are
Yeah.
Well, what was the deal with that juice?
Right.
we- It's like
I don't know.
juice.
Oh, it was just like a tang. I mean, juice is so. It not even comes into.
Yeah, it's not near juice.
play.
I
No.
remember what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
remember biting it and getting a juice and being like, this is not what I signed up for.
No,
Right.
it's closer to like what you would find in a hummingbird feeder.
Yeah.
Those are those
Well,
old timey
It's like
candies.
candy
that-
takes time to digest. Just put it in my veins.
I think that you really nailed it. Like when kids eat candy, if it
It's
goes
your only
right,
drug as a kid.
but you're going, what am I doing? Like it's just like
Having
always
the best
this
day
like
of my life is what
new
I'm-
magic that kind of isn't good, but it's just like fascinating and you want more.
Oh yeah.
Like
You
I
don't
guess
have caffeine,
addiction
you
is
don't have
what-
alcohol, you don't have sex.
Right.
Sugar is the only drug you have as a child.
Well, and it's the time of your life where you have the most energy. To throw extra energy on top of that,
Yeah.
it's
Fun.
like heroin,
But
probably.
you can have caffeine as a child.
No,
Right,
yeah.
right.
definitely not. I couldn't
No.
have caffeine at all.
Oh, really?
My parents wouldn't let me have coffee as a young child.
Well, not
Or
young.
soda.
no.
Coca-Cola.
Can have
Oh,
a
well,
Coke?
yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't even think. You know what?
No,
They didn't
definitely no
really
coffee.
let me drink that much soda because I remember
Yeah.
when Jolt came out, and I remember being
Oh.
like, "Yo, I need to get some Jolt," and my parents were like, "You're out of your
Yo, is that how you talk to him?
Jolt."
Yo.
We did not have soda at home. Okay.
Yo,
I didn't have
parental
soda.
units. Hook me up with
I'm
some
gonna need
Jolt.
some jolts, okay?
I had a paper out when Jolt Cola came out, and there was an Arco gas station along my route, and I think almost every day was hitting up the bizarre, the Jolt Colas, the OK sodas, every version of everything that came out, and it was time of
Jolt-
my damn life.
Jolt was weird. Jolt was a trip.
It tasted
was-
bad.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of an American movie where Mike gives like the old uncle some Joe Cole. He's like, oh no, he gives him a Surge. He gives him Surge.
yeah.
And goes,
Oh yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, it's from the Coca-Cola company. It's really, really good. It's got a good flavor.
The movie's
That
amazing.
was when kids were realizing like you could get jacked up with candy, but maybe we could get fucked up with this
yeah.
sugar. And
Right.
all of those were, I mean,
Pixie
I remember
Stick
kids.
is just child drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would actually snort pixie sticks sometimes.
Oh
and
my
I'm
god,
like,
you had to
Yeah.
try it once.
how did we know to even try this?
Well, it's like when Pee Wee makes his breakfast at the beginning of the movie. You're just like, Pee Wee,
Exactly.
this is too much.
Yeah, like,
You
this guy
can.
gets me.
What is this? A Chicago bar? You got the bacon line above it.
We're full circle.
Carl, I think we're wrapping up the episode, and you're our final person on this final question. What food do you think should be more ubiquitous?
Oh, this is big.
Well, I want to bring it back around to say pot pies, and America's
Yeah.
love of cheap meat and carbs. It's shocking
Mhm.
that in England, meat pies and sausage rolls, they have fucking French fry sandwiches, chip buddies. It is a sandwich that has French fries in it. It's like, how is this not taken over the States? Like, we would love this shit. They eat so much worse than us. Obviously, we invented fast food culture, but their food is insane. And I'm just shocked that like a sandwich full of French fries, a fucking pie full of meat, or dude, sausage rolls are delicious. It's a hot pocket full of sausage. I mean, these things should be ubiquitous in American culture at every highway rest stop. And for some reason, I don't know. We make fun of the British food, but like some of that shit's pretty good.
We're surprisingly leaving some of their better
Sausage
influential
rolls are
parts.
delicious.
Mhm.
Dude, there's an Italian place near my parents' house in Bristol, Rhode Island, and they have a sausage roll that's just like I could kill myself just
Also,
eating
they have
it.
a bacon sarnie, which I believe is just a bacon sandwich. But it's like with us, bacon is relegated to the BLT, and it's like, look, I fucking love a BLT, but like a straight bacon sandwich, like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a
Go on.
bacon, honey, and peanut butter sandwich the
Probably
other day.
amazing.
It was
Wow.
incredible.
I mean,
Yeah, and
one
we
of
all
the
thought
great-
Elvis was weird.
My
like,
girlfriend's
full
out of town.
banana,
I've gone
peanut
nuts.
butter.
Oh,
Elvis
no.
was out of the fine. He's putting bacon. That's good. Elvis
Actually-
was smart. He was high on speed, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
Paul, can I change to this one my thing, because it is a
got
Canadian
it.
dish. I like it
You
better
got
than poutine. It's amazing, and it involves back bacon, one of our stereotypical foods,
Ooh.
Mhm.
and
Canadian
it's
bacon.
Canadian bacon, and it's that on a roll or a bun, like a Kaiser bun, with
Mhm.
mustard, and you get it at the farmers market here, like the real one, St. Lawrence Market, and
Mhm.
it's the greatest thing you ever had.
I've had that,
Yeah.
and I will say, Canadian bacon, pretty fucking good.
Yeah, so
It's
that.
just ham. I don't know where bacon got involved in this.
No, I don't know where it's
Yeah.
involved either. It's really just a ham steak,
but
but
yeah, ham steak on a sandwich. Let's get that everywhere.
but you got to throw the mustard on.
Mm.
Yeah. What kind of
just-
mustard is it?
Ooh,
Regular yellow,
Oh.
okay.
All right.
or
didn't see
maybe
that
a little
coming.
honey. Or deli mustard.
I just want to say at this point that there's also a pizza place in Providence on Federal Hill called Caserta's, and they have
Been there.
Have you been?
I have. My brother went to Brown, so I've been to Providence.
Oh, so they have something called the Spinach Pie. It's just a calzone with spinach and cheese in it. It is so good. You like imagine how good it is.
Calzones are underrated outside of the
teenage.
Italian community.
I love
Totally.
calzones. I love calzones.
I grew up eating
Imagine
calzones.
how good this thing is. Like teenagers are like, let's have more spinach.
Right.
You know? So good.
Federal Hill in Providence, Rhode Island has some of the best Italian food I've ever had.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think Italians, Rhode Island, but a lot of mafia, a lot of great food, great town.
Yeah. That's where a lot of guys go to retire from New York.
It's true.
Oh, that's the place to go. Well, Karl, thanks for joining us.
I'm starving.
Yeah,
I am starving too. Yes.
We talked about food for an hour.
I know.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Our host is gone.
Yeah.
Well, everybody.
This is really falling apart.
Well, thanks for joining us here in the Green Zoom.
Wow.
On behalf of Paul.
And all
Someone
the
else
Dankies.
turned on my
All
Bluetooth
right.
speaker.
Love you guys.
and
Thank you.
Bluetooth speaker. God.
Anything
Karl,
you
we
want to
love you,
plug?
buddy.
Oh, yeah. Just follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Karl Hess. That's KarlHess. I'm on there. So come say hi.
Oh, good to see you, man.
Come say hi. Come see Karl as he's I'm sure you're getting back out doing stand up here as everybody is.
Sometime soon. I'll do comedy again. That's the plan. So.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in,
Thanks,
everybody.
Karl.
We'll see you next week in the Green Zone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have you been to Polka Polish?